Hello everyone, and welcome to this introduction of Twice by Christina Rossetti. Rossetti wrote Twice in 1864, and it was published in her second book, The Prince's Progress. Interestingly, not with her other devotional poems, whereas the theme of this poem arguably has a strong devotional flavour, and we can discuss why it maybe doesn't belong with those other devotional poems once we've had a closer look. Twice by Christina Rossetti. I took my heart in my hand, O my love, O my love. I said, let me fall or stand, let me live or die, but this once hear me speak. O my love, O my love. Yet a woman's words are weak. You should speak, not I. You took my heart in your hand with a friendly smile. With a critical eye you scanned, then set it down, and said, it is still unripe. Better wait a while. Wait while the skylarks pipe till the corn goes brown. As you set it down, it broke, but I did not wince. I smiled at the speech you spoke, at your judgment that I heard. But I have not often smiled since, nor cared for cornflowers wild, nor sung with the singing bird. I take my heart in my hand, O my God, O my God, my broken heart in my hand. Thou hast seen, judge thou. My hope was written on sand, O my God, O my God. Now let thy judgment stand, yea, judge me now. This contemned of a man, this marred one heedless day, this heart take thou to scan both within and without. Refine with fire its gold, purge thou its dross away, yea, hold it in thy hold, whence none can pluck it out. I take my heart in my hand, I shall not die, but live. Before thy face I stand, I, for thou callest such, all that I have I bring, all that I am I give. Smile thou, and I shall sing, but shall not question much. So we have a first-person speaker. One of the most interesting things, or one of the most interesting ways to approach this poem, I think, is to look at it structurally, to try and understand what this voice is saying and what all of these repetitions seem to suggest about the speaker's feeling towards a man, presumably the beloved in the first instance, and God in the second. Let's have a look at the way it's structured. We've got 6 equal regular stanzas of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 lines with an A, B, A, C, C, D, B, D, C rhyme scheme, which remains the same until stanza 4, where the rhyme scheme changes. And we've got line 1 and 3 have the same rhyme. Just a little extra element where we shift in stanza 4, because stanza 4 is going to be important for reasons that we come back to. I took my heart in my hand, O my love, O my love. So a couple of things going on here. Firstly, that we've got an iambic opening to the line, I took my heart. Clearly the first 2 feet of that line are iambic. And then we have an anapest, 2 unstressed syllables followed by a stressed one. And what that does is it means that each of the rhyming sounds in this first line is a vowel sound. I took my heart in my hand, bringing that first line to life. Also, the fact that we've got the anapest here kind of accelerates that last metric foot. The poem starts with some drama, some tension. She's taking her heart in her hand. It's like having your heart in your mouth. This is a moment of exposure or tension. And then we've got bracketed, oh my love, and that you may have your own ideas about why oh my love is bracketed, whereas later in the poem, oh my God, is not. Could it be that this is whispered, or that she has to hide this deep feeling that she's having towards the listener, who is the beloved? I said, let me fall or stand, let me live or die, but this once hear me speak. These first 4 lines seem to be a giving of herself to the listener. She's got her heart in her hand, and she seems to be offering her whole being to him. But this once hear me speak, again, oh my love, yet a woman's words are weak. You should speak, not I. We've got the masculine rhymes, those end word rhymes, making a connection between hand and stand, and here speak and weak, and that rhyme echoed again with an internal rhyme with speak in the last line. So the idea of speak and weak. Is she too weak to speak? Does she feel as a woman that she's the weaker sex, the fairer sex, as she certainly would have been considered in Rossetti's context? I'm too weak, you're the man, you speak. No, I'm going to stop talking, you speak. And stanza 2 starts with that you. So we know we're talking about the listener here. You took my heart in your hand. With a friendly smile, with a critical eye, you scanned, then set it down. Now, scanned here is a kind of quite an objectifying word. He's kind of looking over her heart, perhaps her love, critically. Perhaps he's looking at her critically, and he puts it down. In other words, he rejects her heart. He rejects her love. Now, he doesn't do it cruelly as such. Rossetti's careful to characterise him as having a friendly smile here. And this is an echo, I think, of the bridegroom in Maud Clare, who hasn't behaved particularly marvellously and has left Maud Clare to marry a maid, you'll remember. And yet Rossetti's quite gentle with him. She's not pouring scorn on him. She's more pouring scorn on the situation that allows such a pattern to be repeated from the parents' generation to the bride and bridegroom's generation. And here again, the man is not scorned, but he has rejected her. And this is the beloved speaking, and said, it is still unripe, better wait a while, wait while the skylarks pipe, till the corn goes brown. So he's saying, either you're not mature enough, or you're not ready for this, or our love is not ready, or I'm not ready, or it's a brush off. Interestingly, the language that he uses to reject her is about the passing of time in terms of seasons, and we've seen this before. The skylarks piping, we've also seen skylarks as an image before. Larks are used as a symbol of joy or hope for a new beginning. So he seems to be choosing his imagery quite kindly here too, although ultimately, as we've said, he's rejecting her. Until the corn goes brown seems to be suggesting that it will be after the summer. Wait until the autumn, wait until harvest has been collected, which again might be a significant image if you think about what we think might have happened between these two. As you set it down, and the extended metaphor of the heart being handed between the two here, and the fact that he's decided to reject her and he's put it down, so an extended metaphor of the heart, because the metaphor is continued. As you set it down, it broke, and here we've got some repetition. Another example. The repeated broke really emphasises the emotional blow of that sensation of her heart breaking. But I did not wince. So there's courage in this speaker. She did not wince, and she was strong. I smiled at the speech you spoke. Again, she's strong and self-contained at this point. At your judgment that I heard. This is the first mention of the idea of judgment, obviously in stanza 2, and he's scanning her. There's an element of judgment there, and here what's going on is being named as judgment, which will be repeated later on. But I have not often smiled since, nor cared for cornflowers wild, nor sung with a singing bird. So she now mirrors his natural imagery. She brings the lark back here. She's not singing anymore with the larks. She doesn't feel any great joyful new beginning. And the corn going brown is kind of mirrored here in the cornflowers. And you may have seen in your reading that the cornflower was a symbol of kind of fidelity or celibacy in a young man who'd sort of betrothed himself to a partner, and he would wear cornflowers to show that he was staying chaste for her. And if the flowers turned brown, it suggested that he had failed in his mission to stay true to his one love. Now, she doesn't talk about cornflowers going brown, although we've got corn going brown in the previous stanza. But she's not seeing these natural things. She's not enjoying the cornflowers. She's not enjoying the singing bird. So despite the strength with which she takes this rejection, we can see that her heart is broken and the effects are being felt sometime afterwards. So in terms of the structure of the poem, this is a neat switching place halfway through the poem, three stanzas through, because the second half, of course, is perhaps a way of understanding why this poem is called Twice. Because in stanza 4, again, I take my heart in my hand. So this is the second time that she's offering her heart. This time it is, of course, to God. Interestingly, no brackets here for "oh my God, oh my God." Okay, so depending on why you thought she had brackets in stanza 1, depending on why they were there in your opinion, you'll have an idea as to why they're not here. My broken heart in my hand. Thou hast seen, judge thou. Interesting switch from you to thou. This is a much more intimate form of you. She's closer to God than she was to the man, if we look at the way that you and thou has changed. Thou hast seen, judge thou. Another repetition of the idea of judgment, the second judgment, second offering, second judgment, twice. My hope was written on sand. Oh my God, oh my God. My hope was written on sand seems to be a biblical reference to the parable of the builders who built their house on sand, and of course it was hopeless and it blew away, rather than the builders who built on the rock, on the sure rock of faith. My hope was written on sand. I'd built my hopes on something that wasn't going to last. Oh my God, oh my God. Now let thy judgment stand. Yea, judge me now. Lots and lots of judgment repeated in stanza 4. Stanza 5 has a change in rhythm. This contemned of a man, this marred one heedless day, this what? Now this missing syllable here, if you look at everything else, is 7 beats. These 2 lines are 6, and the fact that it's this contemned of a man, this marred one heedless day, this is the missing word here, and it's the idea of the heart, this heart contemned of a man, this heart marred one heedless day. Where we leave out words, we can call it ellipsis, just as 3 dots is also called an ellipsis. It's an omission, a deliberate omission. And the ellipsis here perhaps reflects her emotion. It's almost like she's kind of choking on the word heart in this stanza. This heart that was treated with contempt. This word contemned means something that's regarded with contempt or scorn. This heart which was shown contempt by the man. This heart marred one heedless day. Marred means spoiled, but it is also very close to the idea of married. Almost a kind of bittersweet what could have been in the word marred. Her heart was marred. She was spoiled one heedless day. Heedless means she wasn't paying attention. There was an element of carelessness. So what could be being suggested here was that she had a physical relationship with this man before he rejected her. The idea that she's marred or spoiled, which puts the speaker into a category of fallen woman, so-called fallen woman, that we might also consider Maud Clare to be. In some ways, it could also be the rejected Sœur Louise that you could find connection with here. This heart she's offering it to God. We could think of Sister Sœur Louise as also turning to God in that poem, where she becomes a nun, a sister. This heart take thou to scan. There's the repetition of scan. You see the symmetry of this poem, the second half of the poem mirroring the first half. We've got lots of the same vocabulary being used again. both within and without. So this time she wants to be judged from inside and out, not just scanned objectively as she was by the beloved man in the first half of the poem. And then she asks God to refine with fire its gold. So purge thou its dross away. Now this is purge here means to cleanse or clean. Dross means the bits of, in a furnace, the bits of non-precious metal that are discarded. So she's asking God to kind of clean and refine her heart, get rid of all the bits that she doesn't need. Perhaps again an echo with Sir Louise, where she looks back at the vanity of her earlier life and wants to purge herself of it, perhaps. Yea, hold it in thy hold. So this time it's not hold it in thy hand, it's hold it in thy hold. There's double meaning of hold here, of course. We've got the hold in the hand, and we've also got the hold of a ship, somewhere where her heart will be safe. Whence none can pluck it out. Whence means from where none can pluck it out. She wants to be safe with God. And then more repetition in the final stanza. I take my heart in my hands, and then real affirmation, positive affirmation. I shall not live, I shall not die, but live. Before thy face I stand. I, for thou callest such. Could this be for thou callest I? You've called me, or is it I? This is what you call me. I'm not quite sure which one of those interpretations you like. I, for thou callest such. All that I have I bring, all that I am I give. And here I think you'll hear echoes of the Christian marriage service. All that I am I give to you, all that I have I give to you. Those kind of rhetorical, repetitive lines that are used in the marriage vows. Smile thou and I shall sing. So God's smile, remember the beloved smiled at her too, but if God smiles, then she shall sing, unlike earlier where she didn't sing with the birds. This time she will sing. And then this interesting and slightly less obvious final line, but shall not question much. You could interpret it that this kind of love doesn't require questioning or challenging. It doesn't require scrutiny or judgment from her. It doesn't need scanning from her. It could be a reference to what happened with the beloved earlier in the poem. But it is quite an ambiguous and quite a challenging end to the poem, I think. We've got this sing-song rhythm that we've seen before. Again, that the rhyme scheme is regular throughout, except for that small difference in stanza 4. We've also got some changes to the rhythm in the second half. And what we have is some spondees. Now, spondees is a brilliant word. Let me find a couple. A spondee is where two syllables in the metric foot are both stressed together. They're two long syllables. So not like a titum, an I am, where one is unstressed, or a tititum in an anapest where two are unstressed. Both are stressed. Let me have a look, see if I can find one for you. So here, judge thou. We've got a spondee. Look at that great word. We've got a spondee here, judge thou. We've got another one later on here with purge thou as another spondee. Purge thou. It's not purge thou or purge thou. It's purge thou. Two stressed syllables called a spondee. Right, we're not in the business of spotting literary techniques just so that we can show off. We have to have an idea as to why that might be, or what that lends to the power or the meaning of the poem. Purge thou its dross away. There's a strength here. She's been strong throughout. Perhaps arguably in the first half she's strong enough to take that risk to offer her heart to him, and then she's strong enough to smile when he rejects her. But it's a strength that she's barely holding on to. But in the second half, where where God will take the heart and hold it safe, suddenly we've got these kind of assertive spondees where it sounds like there's some genuine strength. Judge thou. She's not frightened of God's judgment. Purge thou. Again, I'm ready for God's love. So then why, with such a devotional second half, is this poem not published with the other devotional poems, with Good Friday and such? Perhaps it's because it deals so frankly with earthly love in the first half of the poem. Perhaps it was too uncomfortable to a Victorian reader to neatly pigeonhole this as a devotional poem when there is so much direct allusion to the wrongs dealt towards women in the first half. Interestingly, I think that she's not pouring scorn on the man, rather she seems to be criticising the situation that society enables. She openly acknowledges the weaker role of women, or the weakness of women in the gender balance at the time that she was writing in stanza 1, but pulls no punches really. Whether or not she's had a physical relationship with him is up for debate, but I think that the idea that she's now marred suggests that this speaker is a character of a fallen woman, of a woman like the fallen women that Rossetti would have been working with in Highgate, as you'll know from your context reading. So a fascinating poem, one that perhaps you'll want to compare with Maud Clare, Sur le Ruise de la Miséricorde, speakers who are women. The degree to which we can make parallels between this speaker and Rossetti herself, again, is up for a discussion. I'd be interested to hear your ideas on that. So Twice by Christina Rossetti, a different kind of poem, but an interesting one, one that's got lots of echoes with both the context and within itself, with that repeated symmetrical structure, with the giving of the heart to the beloved and then the giving of the heart to God. Hope you enjoyed it. All the best.